news and events across the valley. Live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. Please like, share, and subscribe. All right, everyone. Again, we're live here on the scene. Valleywide News, breaking news and events here and across this Arizona. Sorry about that, everyone. I'm having a little feedback in my ear. But again, we're live with our drone up in the air. SWAT situation since early this morning. Those of you joining us on Citizen, we truly appreciate it. If you'd like an over-the-head shot, we are live with our drone above. And again, we've also heard some citizens in the area. Hi. One moment.
Sorry.
That's okay. It's domestic violence suspect. Still in there and possibly one they have fired.
Thank you. I saw
Welcome.
you here.
You got it. Take care. All right, everyone. Again, active SWAT situation. And we can tell you that we do have citizens in the area. We overheard on iSky News' citizen just earlier, a lot of concerned citizen, people upset that they can't leave their home. But again, it's one of those situations, and we have, stand by, everyone. We're trying to figure things out. We have, obviously it's a situation where this guy is possibly armed, barricaded in the house, so it becomes an extremely dangerous situation for all residents in the area. And so this is where we are. It's domestic violence guy. He's in the hospital. He's possibly armed. All fire medical. about an hour and a half. Yeah, fortunately. No. All right, take care. All right, everyone. So once again, we stepped away. We got citizens in the area that are curious as to exactly what's going on. You can see all the Bearcats rather, in front of this house. Again, we're live on the scene on Citizen. If you want to head on over to our Facebook, YouTube, or X at Valleywide News, we do have a live shot of our drone up in the air over the scene here. Again, you can see two Bearcats on the scene, and for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, they've been working with this to get this suspect out of the home. Again, it's a domestic violence. His girlfriend or wife or significant other has been brought to the hospital earlier this morning with multiple injuries that are non-life threatening, thank goodness. And here we stand with a barricaded suspect. All we know is that we did hear earlier that his name is Thomas. That's who they're calling out to try and get him out. A number of pepper balls and non-lethals projected into the home to try and get this suspect out. Again, as you could see from our drone shot that we're keeping live, he is currently barricaded in the home and possibly armed. And the reason we say that is we have all fire and medical are in tactical vests and body armor at this time, and they are staged here on the scene. And again, we're only at about 150 feet, which is plenty enough for what we're trying to view here. We got helicopters and aircraft in the area, so we're staying at about 119 feet in the air at this time. Again, you can see this whole area is closed off currently. And if we zoom out, you can see this entire area is completely closed off. And as you can see, we got Mesa police and SWAT stationed and backed in behind all their vehicles. Domestic violence situation and still active. Yeah, because the woman's been brought to the hospital. There's not like threatening her or something. And it's still making there. I just oh yeah, it's going to be closed for quite some time.
How long has this been active?
About an hour and a half.
Really? Okay. All right. Thanks.
All right.
All right.
Thank you. All right, everyone. So again, citizens that live in the area wondering if and when they'll be able to get back to their home. I can tell you right now, as this situation is active, it's going to be quite some time. I mean, again, the suspect is barricaded possibly armed, and the reason again we say that, and this is just from our vantage point from what we're seeing, we have fire and medical, ambulance personnel all staged here in the area, and all with body armor and tactical vests on. So they must know something in regards to this suspect, that he is possibly armed, again barricaded in the home. And so we're closely monitoring it. We're live here on the scene. We're on Citizen, Facebook, YouTube, and X. Those of you joining us on Citizen, if you'd like, we truly appreciate it. We're independent media. We're live on the scene on YouTube and all our social media, live with the drone in the air, so you can see a somewhat zoomed in shot of the active scene going on right now. And we can say we're still seeing more SWAT coming in and putting on tactical vests as we speak right now. More unmarked cars pulling up to the scene. So again, this suspect is not giving up at this moment, and pretty active scene with 2 Bearcats currently. Again, we're live up in our drone just above the scene on our Facebook, YouTube, and X. And again, those of you joining us on Facebook, YouTube, and X, we're above the scene, live with our drone, and you can see the barricade, the Bearcat rather, parked directly behind that white sedan. And we have another one off to the left-hand side of your screen as well. Thank you to everybody joining us. We hope, obviously, that this situation will end safely with the suspect coming out and giving up. But we can tell you for about an hour and a half to 2 hours, iSky News has been on the scene, providing us live coverage. You can hear them shooting non-lethals into the home or into, we're not sure if that vehicle with the windows down is where the suspect is, or if he's in the home. Again, this is a fluid and active situation. Again, we appreciate everybody joining us. If you do us a favor, I know it's an odd time to say it, but it truly supports independent media. If you can click that subscribe, like, follow, share, all that good stuff. We are here in Mesa, Arizona, with a domestic violence suspect who is barricaded at this time and has been for about an hour and a half or so. Commands being called out to the suspect to come out and peacefully give up, which has not happened as of yet. Several fire and medical on the scene, also in tactical vests, likely because this suspect could be armed. Again, his girlfriend, wife, or significant other is currently at the hospital with multiple injuries. Again, non-life threatening, thank goodness. But here we are, the suspect barricaded somewhere, either in that white vehicle or in the home itself. You can see the Bearcat directly behind it. This area completely shut down. I can also tell you that I believe it's University is shut down between Higley and Greenfield. And we can tell you right now we're zoomed into a white vehicle that is in the driveway with the Bearcat directly behind it. We're trying to see if we have any movement to see if that is where the suspect is currently barricaded. But again, if not, they're definitely here in that home. Thank you to everybody joining us. We're live on Citizen, Facebook, YouTube, and X. Those of you joining us on Citizen, if you're interested in seeing an above drone shot of the scene itself, we are live up in the air on our YouTube, Facebook, and X at Valleywide News. Again, our hopes is this suspect gives up peacefully, but for the past hour and a half to 2 hours, that has not been the case. So we monitor the situation and hope for a positive outcome. Again, thank you to everybody just joining us. We are live here on the scene in Mesa, Arizona, with a barricaded domestic violence suspect. His girlfriend, significant other, has been brought to the hospital earlier this morning with multiple injuries, thankfully non-life-threatening. And for the past hour and a half to 2 hours, this suspect is currently barricaded in the home or in that vehicle that you're seeing on your screen if you're on YouTube, Facebook, or X. We can also tell you that all the firemen and medical that are here on the scene staging next to the scene are wearing body armor, which could indicate, again, possibly that this suspect is armed. And so here we stand. You can see the Bearcat directly behind that white sedan. Again, those of you joining us on Citizen, if you go over to our Facebook, YouTube, or X, we're live on the scene. We're up in the air, live on our drone. We have a live shot for you from above of the scene. Again, actively calling out to a gentleman named Thomas to come out peacefully. You can see SWAT members behind the Bearcat, again directly behind this white sedan vehicle. And we've tried several times to zoom in to see if we can see if that is where the suspect is held up. The window, driver's window is down. Again, more than likely, if we see that, we'll let you know. But our battery for the drone is about 26%. No worry, once that reaches end, we have another battery. We'll bring the drone down, switch to our ground camera, and put the drone back in the air. Again, everyone, looks like we've got news helicopter in the air and aircraft around us, so our drone is at an extremely low height. This is for a number of reasons, so we're monitoring a number of things here on the scene. Again, we appreciate everybody joining us. Valleywide News, we're live on Citizen, Facebook, YouTube, and X. Those of you on Citizen, head on over to one of those social media channels. We're live on the scene with our drone in the air, live on the scene. We appreciate everybody joining us. And again, for the past hour or two, there has been non-lethals being shot out either to the vehicle or into the home where this suspect is currently barricaded. And again, our hopes are that they come out peacefully. We're hearing more sirens in the background. Again, we have a two-box shot, one from our ground video and one from above. Well, let's bring you back to a zoomed-in shot of the live drone in the air. Stand by, everyone. All right, and that's that sound. Bear with us just a few moments. We're going to bring the drone down and change out our battery and head on back up. So stand by, everyone. All right. We're going to go ahead and mute the mics just for a moment, change out our battery, and get that drone back in the air. All right, everyone. We're just powering back up the drone, and we'll bring you back up to the live shot of our drone in just a moment. Those of you joining us on Citizen, head on over to our Facebook, YouTube, or X at Valleywide News, and we have an above live shot here on the scene. All right, and once again, we're live up above. We can tell you that fire and medical are in tactical vests here on the scene. So essentially, it must mean that they have knowledge, possibly, that this suspect, who is a domestic violence suspect, is armed or has weapons of some kind. Again, fire and medical staged here on the scene, and has been for about 2 hours or so. You can hear them calling out when we were listening on our way in to iSky News Media on Citizen, and you can hear them calling out to a gentleman named Thomas to come out peacefully. And for the past hour and a half, 2 hours, that has not been the case. You can see two Bearcats on the scene. One here, stage facing the home. One of two homes that we can see. More than likely, it's the second one in with the dark brown tiled roof, brown roof rather. And you can see the other Bearcat and a police officer, several police officers, behind a white sedan. Again, with this barricaded suspect. We appreciate everybody joining us. Those on Citizen, head on over to our social media. We're live up on the scene here. Please hit subscribe. Click the notification bell anytime we go live here in Arizona. It helps support independent media, and we truly appreciate it. Again, a lot of less than lethal have been lobbed either into the vehicle that with its windows down or into the home. From the position that they're at and that Bearcat is located, it appears that this suspect might be in that white vehicle. Only because they are not closer to the home and not sure of exactly where they would be able to send in non-lethal if he was in the home. And that's just our perspective. Again, that's not confirmed or anything, but we can see that they are Bearcat and a number of SWAT members behind this white sedan that you see on your screen. We're going to try and zoom in again to see if we can see any movement in that vehicle. And again, we're zoomed in as close as we possibly can. And to bring any of you up to speed, and it's been repeated a number of times throughout this morning, we have a domestic violence suspect who severely injured his significant other early this morning. She has been brought to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, thank goodness. And the suspect himself has barricaded at this time. They've been calling out to a gentleman named Thomas here on the scene for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. And again, less than lethal being sent to try and get this subject and suspect to give up peacefully. And as of yet, in about the past 2 hours, that has not been the case. So our hopes is that he will do that and come out peacefully. And again, I can tell you that a number of residents around the area are unable to leave, that, especially those that are on that block. Currently, they're not allowed to leave their homes, being sheltered in place. Some of them not too happy. But again, this is a volatile situation, possibly an armed suspect, domestic violence, two of the worst combinations for police officers and paramedics and rescue. They are here on the scene, staged as well, and they are in tactical vests, which leads us to believe that likely this subject is armed and they're on standby should anything happen. Again, those of you joining us on Citizen, we'd appreciate you going over to our YouTube channel at Valleywide News. Click subscribe and click that notification bell, and anytime we go live on the scene here in Arizona, breaking news and or events, you'll be notified. We're currently live on the scene up above in our drone, and we appreciate everybody joining us. Again, those of you traveling in this area, we can say that University Drive in both directions is still currently shut down, east and west. More than likely because this house that the subject is in or near backs up to University Drive, and likely this suspect is armed. Again, a domestic violence situation, which is possibly armed and a domestic violence, two of the worst combinations for police and fire and medical, as well as SWAT team here on the scene. And as you can see, University in the top part of your screen completely empty of vehicles, both directions between Higley, as you've heard all this morning, between Higley and Greenfield currently shut down. You're being detoured all around this scene. All right, everyone. Once again, Valleywide News, breaking news and events here and across the valley. Currently live on Citizen Facebook, YouTube, and X. Those of you joining us on Citizen, we have a ground view. However, if you go over to our YouTube channel, we are live from above, bringing you a bird's eye view of the scene. 2 Bearcat SWAT teams here as well on the scene, as well as a number of Mesa police officers. The entire area completely surrounded and calling out for the suspect to come out of the residence or the vehicle peacefully. Stand by. We want to monitor something here. Bear with us just a moment. We're seeing a little bit of movement. Again, we can tell you that SWAT is live on the scene, as well as fire and medical, who are in tactical vests. Again, likely because the suspect could be armed, and they are staging nearby, and we hope for a peaceful resolution. Once again, those of you joining us on Citizen, please head on over to our YouTube channel. We're live above with our drone, getting a bird's eye view of the scene here. Again, barricaded suspect, domestic violence. Several fire and medical staged here as well in tactical vests. Again, we appreciate everybody joining us. Valley-wide news, breaking news and events here and across the valley. Currently live on the scene of a barricaded suspect in Mesa, just off of University. We can tell you that University between Higley and Greenfield is currently and has been closed off in both directions, east and west, and will be for quite some time, as this house that the suspect is possibly barricaded in, it backs up to University Drive. So out of extreme caution, the entire area is completely closed off. All right, everyone. So here's what we got, and obviously this is an extremely fluid situation. We're trying to figure out and finally have, from our drone above, you can see the screen knocked out. So in fact, the vehicle and area that we were focused in on was not where the suspect is currently barricaded. We do apologize for that. But we can tell you now we are zoomed in on the home where this suspect is barricaded currently. You can see us zoomed in, Bearcat rather, directly in front of the home. So again, this screen that you're looking at that is laying in front of the home is where they've sent in non-lethal, and so now this is where we'll stay focused. Again, barricaded suspect. We hope that this suspect will come out peacefully, but as of yet, past 2 hours or so, we have not seen that take place. Again, those of you joining us on Citizen, we're live on the scene head on over to our YouTube channel, Facebook, or X, and you'll get a live view of the scene. Also, if you wouldn't mind and you enjoy content, breaking news, events all across the valley here in Arizona, please like, share, subscribe, click the notification bell, all that good stuff. We truly appreciate it. It helps support independent media here on the scene. So again, we can tell you that University, both directions, east and west, currently shut down and will be for quite some time. The home that we're zoomed in on is a barricaded suspect. There, you can see, we're going to stay live on the shot. Those of you on Citizen, please, you can see the Bearcat moving in to the home at this time. We're live on the scene. Please head on over. More than likely, they're going to break out any windows that are in the front or the front door. They're going to knock in. Again, we're live on the scene up above. You can see the Bearcat. Let me see if we can zoom in a little more. And they are breaking either the front door or the windows in the front of the home currently. And you can see them back it out now. Again, breaking news here in Mesa. Bearcat breaking down either the doors or the glass windows in front of this home where the barricaded suspect is. Please share this out. We're live in Mesa. Those of you joining us on Citizen, head on over to YouTube as quickly as possible. We're live above the scene. Bearcat vehicle moving in. Again, we can tell you that they're smashing the glass in front of the home right now. Again, we understand it's hard to hear, but you see glass breaking out of the front window. Again, this is a domestic violence subject. More non-lethal being shot into the home. Fire and medical on the scene in tactical vests as well, so obviously an extremely dangerous situation. Those of you on Citizen, we've got a up above view here of the scene. They just broke down the front door and the front windows out of this home, and you can see SWAT team members in the turret above. Please do us a favor, like, share, and subscribe. We're live on the scene, Valleywide News. We're sure you can hear that's more non-lethal being shot into the home now that they have. We'll be quiet and let you listen in. More non-lethal being shot into the home now that they've broken out the entire front window, double windows, and front door. Again, for the past 2 hours, this suspect has not come out peacefully. Thankfully, his significant other involved in this domestic violence situation is currently at the hospital and with non-life-threatening injuries, as we know. So thank goodness for that. Again, this suspect barricaded in the home. You can see the front of the home completely destroyed by the Bearcat. Less than lethal still being lobbed in here on the scene. Again, things are starting to progress a little more, and they've torn out, the Bearcat tore out the entire double windows of the front of the home. You can see that completely destroyed behind the trees that they've also knocked out the entire door. Bear with us a moment. We got some calls and texts coming in, everyone. Again, we're a little distance away, and part of that reason is we are here in our vehicle, one-man band. We're right, but we have our canine with us, my pup. So actually, that's the sound of the drone battery. Bear with us a moment. We're going to swap out yet another battery. We're going to go to a live shot of the ground. Stand by, everyone. All right, everyone, we're back again. We're live up above here on the scene still. We had to change out a battery. You can hear less than lethal still being lobbed by SWAT into the front of the home, which you can see is completely destroyed at this time. And those are less than lethal that you're hearing being sent into the home where the suspect is currently barricaded and has been for the past 2 hours. Again, this is a domestic violence situation, so obviously one of the most dangerous type of situations for both fire and medical as well as police officers and SWAT. They're telling everybody to get back, so this is getting dangerous, everyone. He must be coming out. We're going to duck. We have a lot of people running. It's possible, everybody, this is extreme caution. Police just yelled at everybody that's on the scene and around to get back. So it's possible they have a view of the suspect on the scene here again and likely armed. Police again yelling to everyone to get back, and a lot of people running behind the walls. So extremely volatile situation. Do us a favor, go on over to our YouTube channel. This is starting to get intense. We need everybody that's in the area hopefully to stay away and behind walls. At this point you can see if the home is on fire at this time. It looks like it. We don't know if he set the home on fire or if the less than lethal is just smoking, but again, we have smoke coming from the home right now. Again, an extremely volatile situation. We're live on the scene. All I know is that we did hear police and SWAT team members tell everyone that was standing around the home right at the end of the block to get back, and everybody started running. So we are in a pretty safe position, but obviously anything, when bullets fly, if they do, it can be extremely dangerous. So we're going to stand behind our vehicle at this time. We can tell you that there is smoke coming from the home. Again, fire and medical here on the scene, also with tactical vests on. So an extremely dangerous situation, and the people that were watching around have all ran. And again, they're up close, so we're not sure if he's, the whole front of the home is exposed. We're not sure if he is visual from within or a drone shot that they were able to see some type of weapon. And that's why they yelled at everyone to get back. You can see a lot of smoke coming from the home. We don't know if that's less than lethal tear gas or if the home, because of tear gas getting lobbed in, has caught fire. So here we are on the scene right now. Again, medical and fire staged here on the scene. We see a lot of people running around. We're going to stick with you. We're going to go ahead and be quiet and listen in. You can hear a lot of less than lethal and tear gas being shot into the home currently. Okay, so a lot of that smoke we were seeing earlier is definitely dissipated, so that is likely tear gas shot into the home. a little heavier dosage to try and get this suspect who's been barricaded inside the home, domestic violence situation, for about the past 2 hours or so. Again, just moments ago, you heard, or at least we heard, all the people that were standing at the end of the block here, facing the scene, which is only about a house or two in, police and SWAT yelling to get back. And you saw about 15 to 20 people that are watching the scene run in multiple directions. Again, Bearcat earlier tore out the entire double windows as well as the front door of the home. We are maneuvering our drone around to try and get you a better shot of all the front of the home, where the Bearcats again have removed a good portion of the front door and double windows or triple windows that are in front of the home. Again, we can tell you that SWAT is upping their effort, and you can hear more, not less than lethal, being shot in from the Barricade directly in front of the home. And you can see all that smoke. Those of you on Citizen, do us a favor. If you want to get a better shot, we can smell the tear gas from where we are, so we're downwind of it. Again, those of you on Citizen, do us a favor, head on over to our YouTube channel, Valleywide News. We're live up above on the scene. We're also on Facebook, YouTube, and X. Actually, again, that, excuse me everyone, that tear gas, we're downwind of it. So that tear gas and smoke that you're seeing is... ooh, that burns your nose. Flowing in this direction. Again, those of you joining us on YouTube, Facebook, and X, clear view into the front of the home, which is completely destroyed at this point by the Bearcat shooting tear gas into the home. You can see smoke from the tear gas, likely a higher dosage than what they were shooting in earlier, trying to get this suspect to come out and comply. And for the past 2 hours, they've been calling out to a gentleman named Thomas. Again, it's a domestic violence situation. His significant other currently at the hospital with multiple injuries, thankfully non-life threatening, and the suspect himself is barricaded in this home that they've been working for about the past 2.5 hours to try and get him out. Again, about 5 minutes ago, they must have saw something within the home, whether that be movement or something, at which we heard several police officers yelling at people watching nearby to back up and get away, at which point you saw about 10 or so people running in multiple directions. Again, an extremely active situation. University Drive in both directions closed off due to this house being backing up right onto University Drive. Again, we can hear from a distance vaguely them trying to call this Thomas out of the home to come out and give up peacefully. Again, excuse me, got that tear gas headed in our direction, so it's a little strong. Again, those of you on our Citizen, head on over to YouTube, Valleywide News, subscribe there, click that notification bell, and anytime we go live here in Arizona to breaking news and or events, you'll get notified. We're up above on our drone, live shot of the front of the home, Bearcat and tear gas being deployed into the home. The entire front of that home has been destroyed by the Bearcat to try and get this suspect out again. All right, everyone. Valleywide News, breaking news and events. Currently live on the scene here in Mesa of a domestic violence suspect barricaded in his home for the past several hours. We are happy to report, so far at least, that the significant other of this gentleman is at the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The suspect for the past 2 hours has been barricaded here in this home, just off of University Drive. We can tell you that between Higley and Greenfield, because the home is backed up to University, between Higley and Greenfield, both directions are currently closed down and have been for several hours. They've been calling out over the loudspeaker to a gentleman by the name of Thomas to come out peacefully. And as of yet, that has not happened. You can see more tear gas up above on our drone being lobbed directly in front of the home. Again, the entire front of the home completely destroyed by the Bearcat to try and get this suspect to come out peacefully. Once again, those of you joining us on Citizen, if you'd like to see an above view of the scene, we're live on Facebook, YouTube, and X at Valleywide News. By the way, those of you joining us on Facebook, YouTube, and X, viewer discretion is advised. This is a very fluid situation. Again, barricaded suspect. So we do want to warn you that this is viewer discretion, please. How you doing?
Good. Last now they closed it. They road here, and how can come back for the Higley Road?
You have to go out to the right, and then a right
Into the
again, and you can get to Higley. Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
what happened here?
Barricaded suspect, domestic violence. So he's barricaded in the home. Yeah. All right. All right, everyone. We are working on some backup to our drone live shot. One of our batteries is starting to run low on the actual live unit, so.
Hey, do you know what's going on?
Yeah, it's actually a domestic violence situation, and the guy is barricaded in the home, second home.
That's been since like 6 in the morning, huh?
Yeah, it's been going on for quite some time.
He still hasn't came out?
No.
Oh, he's going balls out, huh?
Yeah, it sounds like it. So
Oh,
yeah,
my
they
mom
tore
told
up
me.
the whole front of the home so far.
They ripped the whole thing off?
All the windows. Yeah,
And he's still there?
it's still in there. Yeah,
He got a gun, huh?
possibly because a lot of the fire medics all have tactical vests on.
Damn. Hopefully nothing happens to him.
Yeah, hopefully not. Hopefully he comes out peacefully. You know?
Have you had any footage?
Yeah, we're up above on the drone, live right
Oh, that's
now.
you?
Well, no, mine's right there. Those are probably police and fire.
Hey, could I put mine up? No, huh?
I mean, off in the distance, sure. I think you can only go about 100 feet because aircraft in the area, but yeah.
I'm gonna go right on top and shit. They'll probably shoot it down, huh?
Maybe. That I don't know.
All right, man.
All right, take it easy.
I want to come out on the news.
Huh?
I want to come out on the news.
Yeah, I'm on live on Facebook, YouTube, and X right now, so.
So how do I look it up? Valley White
White
News?
News.
All right, I'm gonna look it up.
Got it. All right, everyone. So again, we're live above the scene here. Still. We have one more battery for our drone, so we hope that this comes to a peaceful resolution as soon as possible. You can see they have a dog. Oh, it looks like the suspect is coming out with his hands up. That is the suspect and his dog as well. We're going to stay. Our battery is a little low. We've got about 15%. You can see the suspect on Citizen. Go over to our YouTube channel. The suspect has finally come out peacefully, thank goodness, after several hours. Those of you on Facebook, YouTube, and X, you can see him facing backwards. He has no shirt on, and he is, ignore that sound again, that's our drone. We got plenty of drone battery power to watch the final ending. Thankfully, this suspect again has come out peacefully, The front of the home, again, completely destroyed, and you can see him listening to commands to the police and SWAT currently right now. And again, thankfully, everything so far peacefully. This gentleman coming out with his hands up. We got about 10% left on our drone battery. We're going to stick with this live shot. We have a lot of our drone making a lot of beeping noise, but we got plenty of power for this. Actually, a forced landing is happening. Stand by, everybody. We're going to go ahead and put the drone back in the air. Stand by. Stand by, everyone. We're still live on the scene. We apologize. We had a forced landing of our drone, so safety first. As soon as it comes back online, we're going to bring it up. Again, the good news is that the suspect has come out peacefully after about 2.5, close to 3 hours barricaded in this home. And he appears to be in custody. Again, those of you joining us on Citizen, Facebook, YouTube, and X, we're happy to report that the suspect did come out finally after heavier dosages of tear gas were sent into the home. After about almost 3 hours, the suspect has come out peacefully and is currently in custody. Just so everyone knows, now the investigation portion of it begins. Again, the suspect in custody, coming out, crawling out of the front of the home just moments ago, and coming out peacefully. And just to wrap things up, and we're going to end this broadcast because for several hours, more than likely, there'll be police here on the scene cleaning up and debriefing and so on. We can tell you this. This started out early this morning. There's a domestic violence call. This gentleman, all we heard when they were calling him out, his name is Thomas. This gentleman, Thomas, was being called out. Was involved in a domestic violence situation with his significant other. She had multiple injuries and was brought to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Shortly after that, this suspect barricaded himself in the home, refusing to come out for 2 to 2.5 hours, closer to 3. Don't quote us on that exact time, but it was several hours. SWAT arrived here on the scene. We're calling him out for quite some time. He was not coming out and complying. At some point and we saw it live on our drone, they tore out the front 2 windows and the front door of the home with the Bearcat. At which point they lobbed in heavier dosages of tear gas. Shortly after that, we can see that the suspect was crawling out of the rubble and with what looked like a small dog with him. Thankfully, again, peaceful resolution to this situation. Suspect has been brought into custody. And again, Valleywide News live on all our social media, Facebook, YouTube, and X. We truly appreciate everybody joining us. Those of you on Citizen, thank you so much again. We're going to end our live stream here. Be safe, everyone.